Hey YouTubers and BTB folks, been leaving you guys hanging here for a long time without any videos. I decided I'd do a little quick thing, kind of show you what's up, what I've been up to, and we'll play a little music here, alright? So, something that's changed kind of big time about my playing recently is that basically I found a new embouchure. So if you watch any of the old videos, you'll notice that when I play, I do like a little thing. Probably learned how to do that when I was like, 9 or 10 years old. And that's just kind of how I always did it. And, there were problems with that. I was relying a lot more on friction. Like, it's difficult for me to play on a wet embouchure because, you can slip out of the mouthpiece real easy when your chops are set like this rather than symmetrically into the cup. But I just did that and have kind of just made it work for all this time. But then I think if you guys check out the blog or whatever, our Setzer tour was canceled this past year. So I was all ready to go out on the road and do my thing at the beginning of November, and then they had to cancel the tour because of health reasons for Brian. And so we were all just at home kind of doing our thing, and then we got this whole COVID-19 business going on. So no gigs, no nothing. We're all just sitting at home practicing. So what I did was I started experimenting with the Cat Anderson closed teeth thing. So I won't do it right now, but I'll put a little paper towel between my teeth, totally block off the air, teeth closed, doing some exercises like that. And it helped me to come forward and get the embouchure and control the aperture more in front of the teeth, because the air has to go around the molars that way. When it's blocked, it comes around the side, and there has to be a little air pocket here in the front to get the air through the aperture. So you can't cram it into your face like that. So I was doing that for 5 minutes a day, just a G in the staff. Sometimes I might go up to like a C or something, C or D. Those notes were feeling really high, just C or D in the staff. And I would do it for 5 minutes as a Caruso type thing. I just keep it on my chops, teeth closed, chops closed, breathe through the nose, and just play for 5 minutes. And I was really pushing into the mouthpiece, just to do it, kind of experiment around with that. And I was getting a strong lactic burn every day, 5 minutes of that. And I actually kind of screwed myself up. I did it every day for 3 months. And then when I went to play some kind of excerpt work where I needed to be able to play a clean note and have good endurance and lyrical kind of stuff, I was having a lot of trouble doing that because my chops were totally screwed up. It was also because I also learned that I thought I was having dental issues, but my chops were just so tired that they weren't contracting to meet the mouthpiece like they do in normal playing. So I got a little screwed up doing that. However, when I was doing it, I got enough strength here to where one day I was just kind of messing around, and I thought to myself, well, maybe I can just set my lips in repose, I guess that's the right word, and then put the mouthpiece on there, and let's see if I can do it without the asymmetrical lip placement. So I did that, and I could do the teeth closed exercise. So I just started doing the teeth closed exercise like that. So it wasn't my normal playing embouchure, it was the symmetrical, just put it on there and kind of go for it like that. After I did that for a little while, I realized, like, this is working pretty good. And I felt like I was coming forward to meet the mouthpiece evenly on both sides, in from the corners. And I was starting to get a new experience of the aperture into the cup, like I've mentioned from the pedal tones. But then also this kind of like ability to exert pressure on it, the aperture, like a belt. So the aperture's like a tunnel, and then like a belt around the tunnel. And I was kind of messing around with that feeling. And so I don't know, that might have been a little tangent there. But basically, then I was like, well, maybe I can just play like this from now on. So I started doing my warm-up like that, arpeggios down into the staff. If you don't know what I'm talking about, check out blackwellstrumpetbasics.com in the blog. This thing called Routine Tracker, and it outlines all the exercises that I've been practicing for the last year or so. So I started playing like that, and there were certain things that were instantly improved. The connection of the sound going from intervals. There wasn't like that change where you have a big note, some kind of weird go into the little slit tunnel, big note. It was just like note, 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 note. And that was easier, and certain other things started to improve, just like the speed of my articulation, instant improvement. crazy. You know, we all think about the tongue, right? The tongue has to be strong and fast or whatever. But by fixing this thing with my embouchure and kind of eliminating that tension that I had with the torque and getting it a little bit more even and with the muscles, maybe the way it's kind of like supposed to work. I don't know. But it improved my articulation. So now what I'm doing here is trying to train my lead trumpet sound on the new chops, because the range is pretty limited, you know, compared to what I could do with the other one. But this one gives me this intuitive sense that it has a much higher potential. So I'm kind of just fooling around with it and fully committed to it, because I ain't got no gigs till June, and hopefully those come through. We'll see. Okay. So what I'm doing is I got this cool little project here I've been working on. I'm going to let you guys know, but I did there are these 6 albums recorded by the Terry Gibbs Dream Band, and they're just awesome. And Al Porcino's playing lead trumpet on all of them but one, and Johnny Audino is playing lead trumpet on that album. He was a lead trumpet player for the Tonight Show Band under the direction of Doc Severinsen, if you are of that generation. But anyways, I did all of them, all the lead trumpet charts. So compiling these into a book, I had a good friend of mine, Dave Richards, edit them for me. He found a lot of my errors, and so I'm kind of working on, you know, sprucing up everything, and I'm going to release that as a book for you guys to check out, which is basically lead trumpet excerpts, lead trumpet parts, and they're from these 5 albums. And I really love them. The band is swinging. The charts are great. My hero, Bill Holman, is in the band, wrote a bunch of the charts. And Al is just free and swinging his ass off. So, this first track from the first album, Begin to Begin, is really cool because there's a lot of great stylistic stuff to pick up from Al, but it doesn't go very high. The highest note of the chart is a high D at the very end. And before that, the shout chorus. There's some D's, but that's the top note of the shout chorus is also a high D. So pretty moderate in lead trumpet talk. And I'll just kind of show you like how you can work on this stuff. All right. So this is the part we're going to work here. That's it. So not a whole lot to it in terms of what you might think of as like lead trumpet range, but we're going to check out Al because his style is something to behold. Alright, first lick. So first you need to do the notes. And I'm going to do all this on my new embouchure here so you guys can just kind of see the, you know, the process of practicing on new chops, because I know a lot of you are going through embouchure changes and that kind of thing. And it can be a frustrating endeavor and weird, you know, when you've been playing the same way for 20 or 30 years and then you change something about your lips. So it's good to just have a good handle on that and the process. So the way that I like to do it is, this is from the beginning of the stamp book, this helped me a lot, is just set, breathe, play. So the set, I'm actually just taking my sweet ass time setting this thing on my lips because it's not natural. Okay. Then I'm set, now here's the sound. Breathe. Okay, and then that's the thing. So I need a pretty big lead up here into these things because I can't just set it and go yet. And you'll hear too that the range is still super limited. Even just like a FG on top of the staff loses some of the core sound and gets a little double buzz kind of. That's cool. So let's check out this lick. See what to listen for. Yeah, so first you need the notes. I'll just give them to you. So you need the notes first in time, obviously. And then there's a couple things to listen for. Your time, the time feel. Al really just has a very relaxed time feel. Plays really on the back side of the beat a lot of the time, and often it's almost like there's like the band time, the drum time, and they kind of meet up every so often. There's the time, vibrato is something you listen for. Inflection. He's doing some bending here. Articulation. What notes he's tonguing. And just general timbre. One of the reasons I love Al is just because I love the timbre of his sound. He's got this great, open, bright kind of sound. I almost describe it as like squishy. Alright, here we go. So you go through there and you really think about what notes he's tonguing. And to my ears, it sounds like do, da. So that first lick, do, da. He's just tonguing the first and the third note. It's slower to the second. So again, set, slow. Right? Try not to frag too many notes. I moved to Pennsylvania 18 months ago with one of these boxes, and I've been dumping my spit in it ever since. Maybe disgusting. Okay. Do, da. And then the rest of it, he's tonguing everything. Okay. So he's tonguing every note, and then there's the bend on the beat. Bye, bow, boop, beep, up. So we're going to grab that. Boop it up. Okay. So I hear boo da 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 do da. So boo da. So he's hanging on that A. Boo da. I think a little bit full value. Do do da ba ba da da do do da. Bow. Boop it up. So we'll try that. I'm going to give it some pre-roll here. I don't know exactly where I need to set my chop. But, okay. Alright. So then I'm recording this, so a good idea is to record it and then go back and listen to yourself and see if you can identify the differences between what you're doing and what he's doing. So the big difference I hear between Al and myself is actually just the timbre of the sound. Like I said, he's got the open kind of squishiness going on. And then mine kind of tends toward more like a kind of a thing. So I want to move in that direction, move toward the direction of Al, and I'm doing it on the new embouchure. Okay. I'll play this again too, but one of the other things to listen for is the fall. There's like a million different ways that you can fall off of a note. Pow, 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 that kind of thing. So these are cool. They're short and relaxed. Pow. Bow. Bow. Ba-da-da-da-do-dow. So it's a little more relaxing, like something you might hear with like the bassy band, like pow, pow, pow. So do-do-do-do-dow. So let's get into it. Okay. Should probably identify where I need to set my chops. You know, so that's the basic idea there. I go back and listen to that. I can't really remember exactly what I did that I didn't like there, but I did notice check out his bend. You know, if you were to count it down, he's not even getting to down till down. Maybe even like somewhere between beat 3 and beat 4. That's where I'm hearing him really hit the pitch. So being able to hold out the bend that long. You know, so again, you know, not exactly nailing it or anything, but just this process of listening, recording yourself, listening back, and then just identifying the differences. That's something that a couple of really great trumpet players, something that I've learned from them lately is some orchestral guys, where I would sort of not really understand the process of imitation, I guess you could say. And the same couple of these guys use the same word, and they just said basically just identify the differences. So you don't need to worry about how you sound. You just identify the differences, and that's enough. So maybe I'll try this once without the recording, and then I'll do it with the recording. All right, so same deal. Set, again, a weird set, different chops. Okay, I'm not going to go for that. A couple things there. You hear the crack. Back to the beginning. I didn't start, but, you know, I kind of went, but he's hitting the note low. Bow, boop, way bop. And then the thing with my chops here, boop, 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 beep. That's only an F sharp. And I'm getting double buzz. I'm falling apart there. So that's cool. That's all just good stuff to know. We'll do it one more time with the record. All right? So that's the basic process there, and you don't even need to do that much. I was working on something earlier where I was trying to imitate a saxophone player, and I was just working on one note, going to another note, because I was trying to get some kind of effect there. So that's just something fun that you can do, something that I enjoy doing, and then, you know, when this bad boy's out, you might want to check it out. At the very least, I'd say pick up these albums. Terry Gibbs' Dream Band. They're all great. I think the most kind of famous or popular ones are Volume 5 and 6. This is Volume 1. It's awesome. Let me pull this up. So, there's a special place in my heart for Volume 3. So good. So good. It's got a lot of the Bill Holman stuff on it. I don't know if this was recorded sounds like it was recorded before Holman recorded them with his own band, but I'm not sure about that. But it's really good. The writing is awesome. The band is great. Super swinging. All right. Well, you guys enjoy it, and if there's anything you want to see, just let me know. Probably not going to do too much video editing these days. It just takes a lot of time. So anything you want to talk about, anything you're interested in, let me know. All right. Take care. Happy trumpeting.